I recently returned to Canada and am in a bad way. Firaxis could not dream of a crisis quite so horrible as whatever pathogen I have been contending with for the past 5 days. Although I do have several new videos in the pipeline, nothing that I felt was ready to air. So here you go, YouTube. While Emotional Husky is down and out, you get a video that has been sitting on the shelf a while. Please enjoy what was meant to be the first ever episode of Rocky Start. Welcome to Civ 6 Stories, where we explore alternatives to history through the lens of the world's most addictive video game. Today we're going to look at a segment I like to call Rocky Start. In Rocky Start, what we do is we analyze the start locations of 5 random seeds of the game, all on Deity Player. So let's get ourselves started. We're going to go and create a game. Random leader, difficulty, Deity. We're going to put it on continents, standard size. We always put on Sucratax Oceans, and you can call me weak if you like, but I like that disaster intensity down to 1. Just a personal preference. And actually, usually when I play the game, I have my favorite setup where I kind of change around the wet versus dry and the old versus new world. I like to have a little bit more hills, and I like to have a few more trees for chops and things like that. What we're going to do, we're going to start the game up, and we're going to assess our start location. I'm going to talk about where you should settle your city and why, what you can sort of expect as an early game strategy based on the leader and the civilization that the computer gives you. And we're also going to give each start location a score on 1 to 5 on how fun I think it's going to be to play out that game, just based on where your capital city is going to be. So here we go. First roll of the dice. Who's it gonna be? Chandragupta. Okay. Never been the biggest fan of playing as India, but let's see what we get here. Give it a go. Okay. Definitely not the world's finest location. Very few chops around. This looks like that's probably an ocean. Coastal water. Yes, so this is a tough call. Let's just move our warrior. I mean, this is brutal. This is like a 1 on 10. If you move, you kind of are almost forced to settle in location or lose a turn. This is tempting to settle on this tile right here to get like extra food. Even if you settle in place, what is the ideal first? This is brutal. This is like a 1 on 10. I would hate to play this game. I would almost restart. I mean, I'm reluctant to restart because the things that hurt you more are things like tundra surrounded. Obviously, it looks like there's the beginning of a desert here. Deserts would throw you off right away too. I don't want to give this a low score, but this is definitely a 2 on 5. I'm just going to settle in place. I imagine this would be a very frustrating game because everything's going to be slow at the very beginning. You got no bonuses. There's no continental divide bonus that sometimes happens at the very beginning. Sometimes you can be birthed next to a wonder. You may run into some early city states and get the first envoy, which would be a huge help, a huge bonus. But right away, this just looks awful. Just awful. There's no... Oh, there is a stone resource up here. You're going to hope that you get like... once you get animal husbandry... Is it animal husbandry? That's the first one. Yeah, once you get animal husbandry, that you get a horse resource or some iron nearby. But you're praying. I don't know. I would still probably play. I always like to play unless it's absolutely brutal. But... awful start. All right, let's load up number 2. João of Portugal. I recently played as them. They're fun to play against because I find they're pretty weak. They were pretty tough to play as. I didn't love their bonuses because the Fitoria is only good if you're kind of friendly with people. Okay. Again, definitely not the world's greatest start. Wow. This is a weak start. This ivory here It looks nice. It's tempting to go and settle on this, but then there's no fresh water around. You're not going to be able to build an aqueduct to get fresh water to it. I'm trying to think of your best first tile to work. This is awful. Whether you settle here, this is a half decent first tile, but there's no production on it. You might, I guess your best bet is to get the booster sailing, maybe work this tile first. Your first culture pop is going to be either here or here. Well, this is going to be a tough grind in the early turns. Again, I give this a 1.5 or a 2.15. Pretty brutal. All right, let's see what we get on our third roll of the dice. Ambiorix of Gaul. You go for that kind of early apprenticeship run, get your men-at-arms out quickly. So, you get the bonus for your unique unit right at the very beginning. Pretty brutal start location, though. Definitely going to want to settle in place there. The good thing about it is you'll get the hills bonus, so you'll get 2 food and 2 production on it. Helps to get out an early scout when you have that, because you make units faster. You'll be able to get out some quick units before you're even large enough to build a second city. So it's good early production. Let's move this, just see what we get. Your second city, 1, 2, 3. So your second city, you'd probably want to build. Oh, see, now that changes things a bit, because you might want to move it over here. Nah. If you move it over here, I guess this is your best first tile. Then you get the early mining boost, and you'll get the early irrigation boost. And putting a second city right here would be just glorious. Good luxury resources along the way. That takes some planning, though. So I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to go here. It's going to be a slower roll. And I'm going to assume it went for seals first. You got the sailing boost. Oh, it didn't. So it went for the gold in the production. That's interesting. You can get a few... I might go here just to try and up the population quicker and then get here. That's a tough call, though. I would say this is definitely better than the first two, and definitely playable, especially since your second city location, if it's going to be around here, is going to be great. But no real early bonuses off the top. It's always nice when you're playing on deity to get some kind of early bonus whereby you're next to a wonder. I mean, that's the classic one, next to a wonder. You meet early city states, or the continental divide boost, where you get the what is it? The foreign trade boost. That's always nice. All right. So I think that's so far our leader. Let's go for round 4. Sunduk of Korea. Good science civilization. Hopefully we have some hill terrain nearby on which to build our Suwon districts. All right, let's see what we got. Brutal. That looks awful. All right, well, you'll get the sailing boost. I guess we'll want to settle in place just to be able to work this as our first tile. The masonry boost we'll get, obviously. Might be a chance to build an early wonder even, if you want to chop those out. Okay, now we didn't know that was there, but that's going to be handy. Get a little bit of extra culture, and that would be the one for the masonry boost, is to grab that, chop those out for some kind of early wonder might be good. But there's no hills. Like, this is just plains. It's a grassland, also a grassland. Like, getting your Suwon up in your first city is going to be a challenge, which is brutal. If you're Korea, you never want to see that. Honestly, I'm looking at this one. This is probably the worst, just because of who we are. You want, like, in this inner ring, I believe you get a bonus. What is it? With their farms, yeah, or mines and farms. So around the Siwan district. So you kind of want like a ring of hills around where you're gonna put your capital, and there's just no hills. You'd have to move and find hills. So if I'm Korea, I restart this one and I just go, you know what? I'll get a better shot at it next time to have a game that's kind of really worth playing. As Korea, this is so for me. This is the worst start of the 4 that we've done. Let's see if we can get a really nice one here on our last roll of the die. Who's it gonna be? Wilhelmina. Interesting. Okay, I so rarely play as the Netherlands. I think I played them once. I think probably I got a cultural victory or science victory. Major siege next to a river. Well, that's good. Completing culture bomb when completing a harbor toward the dam district and flood barrier building. Interesting. Cool bonuses. I gotta play these guys again. It's been such a long time. Interesting start location. Okay. Is this just a grassland? That's a grassland hills. Okay, so we're gonna move him. We don't even see anything. Worried about this tundra. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move to here. This is tough. Because obviously, like, there's some good locations for campuses and holy sites. With that, I think I'm going to go for here. This is going to be our first working tile. And then this is going to be a boost here. Again, not the greatest. Not 100% thrilled with what we've got. But playable. I might say that and especially you get these bonuses next to the river according to these adjacency bonuses. Major adjacency bonuses too if it's next to a river. So I might not have put my capital there, but off. So you'll eventually chop this out, and these will all be districts around here. Probably with good adjacency bonuses even. Yeah. These were pretty bad. I'm not too thrilled with any of these start locations. I'm going to say that Korea had the worst. Korea at the bottom. Chandragupta and Zhao tied for second, or second from bottom, tied for third and fourth. I'm going to go that Ambiorix had the best one, and now Wilhelmina with the second best. All right, well, there's my assessment of those 5 start locations. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, you see the game differently than I do. Let me know what you saw, if you would have a different strategy moving forward, if you thought someone's start location was better or worse than my own assessment. And I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, do that thing where you press like, subscribe, and everything. It helps me, I guess. And especially if it helps me, then I can help you get better at Civ. Obviously, my goal is to help people graduate from whatever level they're playing at to playing a deity level, because I think deity is the most fun. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.